Without warning or much notice, it's very possible that any of us could accidentally slip through life without ever truly getting to know ourselves. We might live through years and years, playing the roles we hold but not actually becoming acquainted with the fullest realization of the potential in us, who we'd most like to be. You might be far more creative than you've ever allowed yourself to be. You might actually be a natural leader, someone with good instincts and ability to perform under pressure. You might organically be very playful or funny, someone with the potential to warm others and make them feel at ease even in the most difficult circumstances. There are plenty of barriers that can get in our way, maybe fear, lack of resources, unfamiliarity, social pressure, the need to be who we think others need us to be. Many things can try to tell us why we can't be more of who we'd like to be, why we must shave ourselves down to fit into a certain model of ourselves. Our careers and professional fields might dictate which traits and expressions are appropriate or ideal. Our peers and social communities might ostracize or judge anything that strays too far from what is normal or expected. Our own preconceived notions of what is safe or what is comfortable might draw boundaries, keeping ourselves away from trying something new or leaning into certain parts of who we are. But regardless of those barriers, the potential that lies dormant in you is always there. You are always capable at any moment of becoming more familiar with your fullest self, your best self. And it starts with asking yourself what it is that you want to see most from yourself. If you could dream without limits, how would you like to show up in this world? And what's the impact you'd like to make? Such expansive and hopeful thinking might sound lofty, but it is entirely worth it to at last be able to know yourself. There is a psychological phenomenon known as the cocktail party effect, which is our innate ability to focus our attention to something specific despite being surrounded by distractions and other stimuli, such as being at a loud, crowded party, but listening to the singular person you're having a conversation with. It feels obvious to us that this is possible, but it's really a remarkable thing to be able to pick out what is significant to us and pay specific attention to that thing despite a range of other activities, sounds, or actions going on around that thing. This phenomenon tells us a lot about human nature. Not only is where we place our attention important, but having numerous, cumbersome, distracting stimuli is not enough to hinder our ability to focus on what we might want to. You could still hear your own thoughts in that crowded room if you wanted to, despite everyone else around you talking, or the music playing loudly, or the constant movement happening. And perhaps what is most significant about this innate ability in human beings is seen in this additional detail that psychologists discovered, that even at a crowded party, a person can instantly hear their own name and divert their attention to the person calling it, over the roar of all the commotion and activity that might be surrounding them. That means that who or what you identify as has a deeply embedded, subconscious, gravitational pull, and it will automatically pull you towards what calls you, or at least what calls the name that you answer to. Maybe you've never seen yourself as a confident person, someone who could be a public speaker, but give yourself that name and confidence will find you. Identify with the version of you that wants to and is capable of easily galvanizing and impacting audiences. See yourself as potentially positioned on the path to completely fulfill that, and the public speaker in you will hear its name when it's called. The opportunities that might present themselves won't fly by unnoticed. The chances to answer as that particular version of yourself will be heard and responded to on a similarly automatic and subconscious level. The names you give yourself, or at the very least allow yourself to answer to, will make incredible differences in your life. That is why it is so crucially important for you to come to know who you are and who you'd like to be. You need to know your name so you'll never miss it when it's called.